Hello viewers, welcome to RT Global News. You can help us to reach wider audience by liking our video. The Russian Air Force, part of the Russian Aerospace Force, has sent at least 4 long-range Tu-22M3 bombers to Tajikistan to take part in upcoming military exercises between the Russian and the Tajik military. According to the Russian information portal Aviapro, the 4 bombers will remain on the territory of Tajikistan after the end of the military exercises. Aviapro sources say they have a Russian military intelligence report stating that the Taliban's ability to invade Tajikistan is real. The Russian Defense Ministry has confirmed the news that an exercise between Russia and Tajikistan is imminent near the Tajik-Afghan border, with forces training to defend the border and losing dozens of variants of a terrorist attack. The Tu-22M3 is already stationed at Russian military bases in Tajikistan. It is known that this type of bomber took an active part, and continues to take part in the civil war in Syria, supporting air attacks by the Syrian Arab Army and Russian troops, against the armaments of Islamic State groups. In the first official visit of the Taliban was in Moscow, they then assured Russian President Vladimir Putin that Tajikistan was not under attack. This was seen as an attempt by the Taliban to legitimize their political views and intentions to the world, but only 24 hours later, the Taliban seized border posts on the Iran-Afghan border. A U.S. intelligence report says, the Taliban control between 80 and 85% of Afghanistan, focusing on small and medium-sized towns, but close to major urban centers. Our analysis and conclusions on the situation in Afghanistan, based on several intelligence reports, show that the Taliban will do everything possible to overthrow Afghan President Ashraf Ghani and form a coalition government with a broad Taliban presence. This, in our opinion, will take Afghanistan back to the 1990s and make it possible to create an Islamic Afghan emirate. Iran is also worried about Afghanistan's actions, believing that the Taliban will take action on the Iran-Afghan border, causing a migration crisis that will affect Iran. Tehran, like other countries, does not rule out a humanitarian crisis in Afghanistan that could plunge the country into chaos, unrest, and health problems. The return of the Taliban to Afghanistan, and their active hostilities, are a consequence of the decision of former U.S. President Donald Trump to end the endless U.S. wars. The line of his policy towards Afghanistan was also followed by the current White House administration and Joe Biden. Afghan President Ashraf Ghani has already accused NATO and U.S. forces of deciding to leave the country as a reason for the Taliban to take military supremacy, despite the otherwise well-equipped and equipped Afghan army. Speaking to the Afghan parliament, President Ashraf Ghani said, "The situation we are facing is due to the sudden decision to withdraw. I told the American president that I respected his decision, but I knew that it would have some consequences, and that the management of the crisis would depend on the Afghans. This peace process has led to doubts and ambiguities, and the result is the situation we see today," he said. Before the withdrawal of NATO troops to Afghanistan, there were about 2,500 U.S. troops, plus another 7,000 foreign troops. To get latest updates on the global news, please subscribe to RT News and turn on the notifications so that you get all the global events update as it happens.